Hundreds of teeny tiny pieces go into a single mechanical watch, each part with its own place to make the movement tick. A mechanical watch is powered by a really small spring and is usually pretty expensive. Think Rolex. The majority of watches sold today are quartz technology. That means they run on batteries.
In the 80s, there was a decline in mechanical watches. Quartz watches came into vogue and everybody was really interested in that.
As the demand for mechanicals took a nosedive, so did the need for professional watchmakers.
Then suddenly the pendulum began to swing the other way. And what happened is that the industry suddenly realized we don't have any watchmakers to fix all these mechanical watches that we're producing. And the demand for watchmaking is just incredible.
Sam Cannon is a master watchmaker. He says the main players in the watch industry are scrambling to set up their own schools to train watchmakers, but they're losing more to retirement or old age than they're graduating. Watchmaking is tough. The job entails a whole lot more than just swapping out parts.
They basically walk out of school as what's known as a micro machinist. Any part that they need, they can create from scratch, which is the hallmark of a watchmaker.
Trained as an instructor, Cannon came up with the idea to enlist veterans, particularly disabled vets, to become the next generation of watchmakers through his Veterans Watchmaker Initiative.
I kind of joke about saying if you have one eye and one arm and you have the heart to do this, to overcome, we can make you a watchmaker and you can make a good living no matter what.
The first class will train here, inside this old EMT base in Odessa, which Newcastle County is leasing to Cannon for $1 a year. There's still work to do, but most everything you see here has been donated or paid for by Cannon out of his own pocket. Eventually, Cannon plans to expand the Veterans Watchmaker Initiative, or VWI, to Middletown, where a local family donated 4 acres of land. Plans are to build a 28,000 square foot main campus there, where he says 54 students at a time will live, eat, and work. Army veteran Jason Adams can't wait. He's one of more than 350 veterans waiting for VWI to get off the ground.
I love seeing how things work and the therapeutic side. I was reading about how it helps people with post-blast exposure. Just being able to clear their minds for that few moments is just a nice thing to have when you need it.
Adams retired from the Army in 2010 after he was found medically unfit. The Bear Native was injured in combat in Iraq.
I had a post-IED exposure, rockets, RPG. I had a traumatic brain injury, PTSD, some shrapnel wounds.
In addition to suffering chronic migraines and lower back pain, Adams struggles with depression and decision-making, even simple things like remembering to eat. He depends on his girlfriend and family day to day. With a lot of life yet to live, the 35-year-old is looking forward to reintegrating into society.
When I was in the military, you had like this purpose, this drive. You knew you were doing your part in the society, and now that I have all these disabilities, it's like, what can I do to once again be part of, our growing as a nation and society and all that together.
Just having everything ripped away from you in an instant is just terrible. We give you a skill set that takes you out of the Social Security realm and back into being gainfully employed. And you set your own course, no matter what your disability.
Air Force veteran Don Morton is also on the waiting list.
It's stupefying that we can let people die, get maimed, risk their life every day, and then not do anything for them. It's absurd. There should be a group like this in every town.
When the 44-year-old heard about VWI, he said, "Sign me up."
I've always liked watches since I was a little kid. Any machine, really, I'm into. And then I ended up getting one of my grandfather's watches that he had gotten from his great-grandfather, and it needed to be fixed, and I didn't trust anyone to fix it. So I said, I'm going to learn how to fix watches.
The idea of training veterans as watchmakers isn't new.
Disabled veterans learn the highly skilled trade of watchmaking.
After World War II, the Bulova family did the exact same thing. The American Watchmakers opened the Bulova School of Watchmaking in 1945 in Woodside, Queens, New York. It closed in 1993.
They trained an entire generation of veterans as watchmakers. And it worked then and it works now.
There are 82% unemployment among disabled vets. 22 veterans commit suicide per day. And we need to get this place started, because every moment we miss is we're losing somebody.
Army veteran Rick Hoffman fell in love with the program instantly. The 71-year-old has signed up for the full 18-month course and also plans to teach his fellow vets jewelry repair here.
These people are powerful people. They are smart, they are intelligent, they are driven, and whether they have a physical issue or whether they are suffering from PTSD at some level, it doesn't make any difference, because they can learn and they can excel at this particular endeavor.
It's become my goal in life to do this. This is what's going to happen. One way or another, or it'll kill me to make this happen for these guys and gals, because they need this.
Piece by tiny piece, Morton will learn to make his grandfather's watch tick like new again. And piece by tiny piece, hundreds of veterans will learn to rebuild themselves.